Second. Here we are. And the shed dogs are here. We're going to talk about the dogs tonight. It's all about the dogs. Come here. Come on. Now, they're hanging around because they think they're going to get food. And I was having something before while I was having a cup of tea, which I've still got. But they've come back because they think they're going to get more. So the shed dogs are the star of the show. Yeah. And so they're just out of camera range there, but actually I'll just tilt down. There's one. Here's one. Right? You see that? See, you're the star. What's wrong? Yeah, there you go. Scratch behind the ears. There we go. There we go. You like that, don't you? Do you want more? Okay, looks like all we're doing tonight is patting the dog and scratching the ears. I think that'll be the whole show tonight. Bit of AMSR or something like that, or we'll just watch. There you go. See, the more you do, the more they want, which I suppose is not a bad thing, is it? Right? You want more? Which one? Which one? Which leg? Which ear? So you become a slave to the dogs. So my only purpose here is to look after the dogs, feed them and pat them and play with them and all that sort of stuff. Yes, you're a good dog, aren't you? Okay. So the other shed dog's just sitting over here out of view. What you going to do? There's nothing left to eat and you get well fed. So it's all about the dogs tonight. No, he's gone. He's had enough. He's on his way. Right. Let's get on. Mum and Dad are here. G'day, Mum and Dad. Cody's in the house. Funk and Hungry. There's a few other people here. I've been a bit slack this week. Got a little bit done. Last Saturday, you regulars would have seen that Dad was up here helping me out, which is a big help. I used Dad's image in the thumbnail in the previous upload I did. Uploaded a new video. And I haven't achieved much more, unfortunately. It's just the way it goes. And we've got the tiling done in the wife's shed, which actually I'll show a photo. Let's show that. No, I haven't taken any. Yes, we have. No, we haven't. We have taken photos, but I haven't got them on this computer. Got them on my phone. Oh, yeah, no, here we go. Hang on. I tell a lie. Here we go. Go back here. I'm totally disorganised tonight. So we'll share the screen. Might be short tonight. Anyway, there you go. So when that photo was taken, we only had a few of the larger tiles left, and we've since gone back, cut all the tiles, and g'day, Stephen. How are you? Thanks for being here. The dogs love it. We've since grouted all this and so on and so forth. So now we need to do the skirting boards around the bottom, and then we can start moving more things down into the wife's workroom, craft room, and then we've only got the tiling to do in the laundry, thankfully. It's been a big job. It's been ongoing. Most of you guys and girls that have been here watching, I've been talking about it a fair bit. It's taken a lot of our time, quite involved. But it looks good. It's even better once it's finished and we can concentrate on other things. Hindsight, we probably should have got someone to do it for us. However, that would have costed more money. But in saying that, we've done it. We've made a few mistakes, but we got better as we went along. As with all things, when you start out doing something, and I found this with working on different things at the steamroller, when you first start doing it, and you have to you know, you do the first part or first thing, you scratch your head, or you know, and then next time you come to do it, you go about a different way and you get it done quicker, so on and so forth. It's all about experience. Um, tiles are quite laying tiles is quite labour intensive. We were putting down usually on a weekend we'll put about uh, anywhere from sort of 12 to 20 down. They're a large tile, they're 400 by 400, so it didn't take long for it to fill the room. Still, you're on your back, you're mixing up the cement or grout or whatever it is, the tile retaining stuff compound, excuse me, and you set it up, you mix it up. You do about 4 or 5. We're doing about 5 or 6 at a time, roughly, you know. And we did go a little bit wrong in a few places, but we corrected our mistakes. And once you put the grout in, it looks so much better, and it brings it up and hides a lot of the mistakes, or makes it look even better. So how does that relate to the steamroller? Well, my wife showed me something that we put on Facebook over 12 months ago. The shed, this one here that we're broadcasting from, started getting built. We made a decision. My wife came up with the idea. We have a new bigger shed here, and the old shed gets put over there. We've had a few hiccups along the way, which, you know, you learn these lessons in life, but we managed to sort them out and get through it. It's the room for my wife is not exactly what she wanted. We did have a carpenter here, a builder, whatever you want to call him, and we wanted the walls all level, so you didn't have the beams showing and things like that. He didn't do that for some reason. He did some other things that we weren't happy about, so we got rid of him pretty quick, because we end up being a bit of a cash cow for him. So that was a bit of another lesson in life. However, the rooms turned out to be pretty good. We've got air conditioning in there, have done for a while. My wife paid for that. And she sold one of her embroidery machines and got the air conditioning in, and it's really made a difference to the room. Although the room is pretty cool, the air conditioning just makes a huge difference. And it's a pleasure to sit in there, have lunch, as my mum and dad have, as my wife and I have. And of course, my wife does her craft work in there as well. And it just makes it such a good experience. And the laundry is incorporated in there as well, which I don't think I've got a photo of at the moment. But it will, that's looking back. There we go. That's a few weeks back when, actually quite a few weeks back when Dad was up. We were doing more tiling. Dad's looking at something on the iPad. The two storage areas, or what looks to be the storage areas behind where my dad is, on the right is the toilet. We originally had a toilet in this area, so we've got 2 toilets, and the left is the exit out to the back, so we can enter from the right where the sliding door is, and the back of the shed, but that's also where the laundry is as well. So it's definitely come a long way. We've got more stuff in here. We've had to juggle things around, make it work, but it just goes to show you the amount of work that we've put into it. Bloody notifications. What's going on, G? So yeah, it's taken a lot of our time, but it's definitely worth it in the end. And it has taken a little bit of time, but everything we do, sometimes you can't always work on steamrollers all the time as much as you like to. As I've talked about before, I work a full-time job, and I'm up at 5 in the morning, and I usually don't get home till 5 in the afternoon. It takes a big chunk of the day, and then you come home, you've got to take some time to relax. But also, I have been spending a fair bit of time up here too, and I still haven't done things like finished off putting all the tools up on the tool board or the workbench. But in saying that, we've done plenty of other work here with progress of the roller. The front rolls have been sandblasted. Let's get a photo of that. Let's flick back here. Righto, where are they? Scoot through here. Probably not going to find them. Gone too far. Oh, there we go. I'm really well prepared. So these are the front rolls, freshly back from sandblasting. I did show those last time, and that's where they got sandblasted and undercoated. This is part of my work, and it's a really big saving. It's helped me tremendously that these guys do this for me. In return, I help them out with a bit of work. I drop fuel off to them, and also that crane in the background. They're having some issues a few weeks back with that crane, and I went down there and we just flushed the radiator out and gave it a good wash out, because they said it was getting hot and all that sort of thing. And we end up putting coolant back in, putting a new couple of radiator hoses on. And g'day, Roger. Thanks for being here, mate. And the tractor crane's running much cooler. Recently, it had an inspection. A lot of these things have to have an inspection, especially cranes, and they have to do some minor work on it, which is nothing major. And although it's an older machine, these are the sorts of tractor. These are known as a tractor crane because basically it's a tractor rear end with a crane on the front. These are 40, 50 years old, some of these machines. And when my dad was working in the transport business at a crane hire company, he had ones like these. They were the mainstays. These days, you see franners getting around, so they're the modern day version of this style of crane. The principles are all the same, but however, when these things are lifting continuously over time, like all metal, it does get stress and stress fractures over time. Just going to take a sip of my tea and finish that off. Cheers. Gee, this is just this is good old Narada tea, not your favourite Biscoff. As you can see, the various lifting points on the crane, it can lift a maximum of 8 tonne just in front of the front wheels, and the forklift over there is a maximum of 10 tonne capacity. So with a crane, with most people that may or may not know, the further out you go from your pivot point, so that's the tyres there, the less weight you can carry. So you can see 8 tonne, just another metre and a half or something like that, roughly in front is 6 tonne. The next one out is 4 tonne, and the further you go out, it gets less and less. Now, to put that in perspective, these front rolls, half a tonne each. Everything put together before I took it apart was about 1,500 kilos or a tonne and a half. And generally speaking, most things you're not going to be, if you, oh, excuse me, this tea is making me, there we go. Thanks, G. Yeah, please like the stream, guys. Or leave a comment afterwards. Whatever you like to do. Thanks for your support, as always. So when it comes to lifting things, big loads and things like that, you got to watch out for, especially when you start going up high on buildings and things like that. You'll see that the load that the crane lifts is usually calculated out, and it's not over the capacity of the crane or anything like that. However, if you go on social media, you can find plenty of examples where things go wrong and cranes fall over. Generally speaking, the work that these guys do, they make dozer blades and excavator buckets. Most excavator buckets are around the sort of, 1 to 2 ton mode, maybe a little bit more. There are some bigger stuff that these guys make. I've seen some big dozer blades down there, as sort of as long as that crane there, especially the tractor unit, up to 20 feet or more. Next time I see one, I'll take a photo and share it on the stream. But generally speaking, when you're lifting loads and things like that, you're not lifting crazy loads. Like the steamroller, when it's all put together, in all the documentation I've got, it's rated as 8 ton in working order. So that's, I would imagine that's, everything full up with coal, water, all that sort of stuff. However, when I've lifted the roller, let's get back on screen here, and I'll stop sharing that. There we go, get me back on here. When I've lifted the various parts of the roller, like the rear rolls, they're 1/2 ton each. So there's a ton there, there's a 1.5 ton in, or 1,500 kilos. So what are we up to? 2.5. And the boiler's 1.5, the way it is at the moment. 2.5, 3.5, 4. That's not something about 4 or 5 tons, something like that. However, you've got to take into account that the rear rolls are fairly thin, so they have worn down from original, so they've lost weight there. There's no roof on or canopy irons or anything like that. There's no water in the boiler. There's no water in the tender. All that sort of stuff adds up. So it'll come close to 8 ton when it's all back together and everything's back on. Obviously, that's just the way it goes. Excuse me. Right, so when my dad's planning to come up this Saturday, I think he is, anyway, maybe. We've still got, like, I finished off the scraper bars. We made a video about that. I've put that up on the channel. That's ready to watch at your leisure. It's a fairly long one. Just shows you what we did and how I finished it off. Colonel's Fishing Adventures. G'day, mate. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Where was I? Yeah, the scraper bars. So there's still plenty other things for when my dad comes up. There's plenty other things for him to do. We've still got more parts to work on, and very soon, excuse me again, approximately another couple of months, we're going to start putting things back on this thing. It's been over, well, in come Easter time, it'll be 6 years I've been doing this. There's still obviously a lot of work to do on the tender and other bits and pieces, but we're definitely going to start put some things back together, finish off some of the work on the boiler so we can get the tubes in, tidy up, fix up a couple other things. Peter's internet. G'day, Pete. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you're not glitching. So these things, what I'm saying is these things take time, and as much as I want to be working on this all the time, I am doing other things too. So it's I'm not dedicating my whole day or half a day. Sometimes I do dedicate a lot of time to it, probably a little bit more than what I should, but anyway, it is what it is. Right, what else can we talk about? Here we go. Let's show that. Where are we? I hope you're still watching, Dad. I'm going to show you a photo of yourself. Like I said, a little bit unorganised tonight. Been a few things going on, but anyway, there's Dad using the wire brush. We used a combination of things. wire brush on the angle grinder, the belt sander. Belt sander didn't sort of work as well as I thought it would, but anyway, it still did the job. And of course, an angle grinder. We had a bit of a had a bit of a bend on one of these tabs here, which secure it on to the part of the front roll mechanism, and one was a bit bent. Then we found a crack, so I welded that up. That's all in that video that I uploaded to YouTube, and it's just all part of the process of getting this thing back together. So when it comes time, it'll be, you know, these parts will get a light sand, and then they'll get a proper coat, undercoat, and then you know, a couple of top coats or something like that, and bolt it all back together. If you've watched anyone, I don't think there's a few people that show that are currently doing restorations here in Australia, or they're doing there's quite a few people doing restorations. Some of them probably not showing as much detail or going through the process as what I'm doing. However, they're still doing similar sort of things to exactly what I'm doing. Some are doing more. It all depends. Everyone's at various stages, and it's a real credit to them that the work that they're doing and undertaking. And a lot of it's in their sheds or their backyards, or, you know, some things can't get, you can't always do everything yourself. For example, just showing a photo here. We can see it just before. Right. So, oh, look at that. You'll have a laugh about that. You'll like this, Cody. Share screen. So there's a picture of the steering worm wheel. Now, I've had to have a new keyway cut in that. I didn't do that myself. I could have. I got a small engineering works to do that. As you can see, he wrote on it 3/4 by 3/8. And if you look at the very background, top of the screen, it was a Monday night. I was taking these photos, and Cody was live. Cody, who was in the chat tonight, he was live. And I think at the same time, over on the other screen, other computer, I had Sid Squad. They were live. Bit of multitasking, as well as talking to a friend of the channel, Emma, as she has a steamroller as well. And the problem that she's got at the moment, her worm wheel that's you see on screen, has been majorly butchered at some stage. It works, but it makes it very difficult for her to steer her steamroller or to, you know, turn the steering wheel. So she's looking at maybe getting one of these new ones cut. In fact, since then, she has got a quote, but it's been absolutely ginormous, and so she's currently looking into other aspects and maybe end up doing it herself. So this thing makes it easy to steer the steamroller when it's on the road. So the shaft comes down, you have a worm wheel on top, hence why there's like a divot in the top of the worm wheel here, and then this is keyed onto a shaft, which in turn has a chain wrapped around it that goes to the front rolls and makes it steer left or right depending on which way you turn the wheel. Yeah, Cody, is he a top bloke? Is he? So I've heard. So that's sort of the things that we have to face, and the reason over a period of time, obviously, it wasn't the best sort of fit on the shaft. Hopefully, the fitting of that worm wheel on the shaft, because I've had to redo the shaft. It was flopping around in the breeze. That's happening with Emma's as well. This will be a nice solid fit on there. It's going to be good, really good fit on the shaft, and the keyway, the key that goes in there will help keep it in place. That's what it does. It'll transfer the power. I may even consider drilling a hole and putting a grub screw in there just to give it a bit extra, but we'll see how we go. If we get a really good fit, it shouldn't be a problem. Mind you, once again, we've got to realise that this steamroller, and I think sometimes people that find it a bit hard to comprehend or just don't know that this thing's 100 years old, or almost 100 years old, built in 1926. So at some stage, something's going to go wrong. Things are going to wear over time, and if they don't get attended to or they're left, they're only going to get worse and worse in that situation. Yeah, I've heard that too, Cody. He never seems to stop talking. It's amazing. Yeah, anyway, bit of an inside joke, that one. Right, moving on. So that's sort of what's happening here in the shed. We've still got plenty of other things going on. Coming up this Sunday, I'll be down at the club where the other steamrollers and traction engines are. The steamroller's not going. We're currently working on it. A bit of maintenance required, and that takes a fair bit of time, actually. Once again, we're all volunteers at the club, so and we don't work on it every day like our everyday jobs. So where are we? There he is. Oh, look at this bloke. Oh, here we go. So a few times now, the shed dogs have been in the truck with me at work because my wife has had to go to a doctor's appointment. And this is not in my regular truck. This is in the other truck I was running around in. So the shed dogs are enjoying a ride in the truck. A bit hesitant to get in the truck at first, but once they worked out that they could get in there, and well, we got them in there. We had to lift them in there. But this particular truck has a pretty good back seat, and they quite enjoyed it because they're getting to go to different places. The window's down, they're getting their heads stuck out, and we did actually stop at a dog park for them to have a bit of a run around. There was some other dogs there. This particular one is at Debra, and of course, when you go to the dog park, they're getting all the updates on their social media contacts and doing what doggies do, run around like flies and sniff everything and wear themselves out. Becky's Fishing Adventures. G'day, everyone. How are you? Hey, Becky, you and Colonel anywhere near each other? You guys could hook up, as in get together and do a fishing show. I reckon that'd be the way to go. That'd be a good way to go, boys. Now, the people in the chat, if you're new here and you wonder why you see some of these names on screen, these are guys that support me, as well as my wife and friends and family. So if you see their channel, type it in, go have a look at their channels. Some of them do some interesting stuff, some do some great stuff, some do food reviews. It's not, each channel is not for everyone, but look, if you go give them a like and a bit of a thumbs up, or or a comment on one of their videos, that'd be great. These guys support me, and we all support each other in small ways, but it all helps. And I appreciate everyone who supports me. Summer plonkers. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Summer plonkers. There's one on screen here right now. So anyway, there you go. Righto. So that's the doggies' day out in the truck with me. They've since had another ride in the other truck. Stop sharing that. I haven't taken a photo. My regular truck is back. It's much big higher up, and the seats are probably not as comfortable for the dogs as that one was. But you get that. But still, every so often I'll throw them in the truck with me and take them for a run, um, and so they can see the countryside, because I certainly get around a bit. That's for sure. Right, moving on. Yeah, I haven't got much more. I really haven't got much more to talk about, because I'm just at a standstill. I'm not at a standstill. I just, yeah, just haven't sort of been really well organised. There's things to do, but I haven't gone any further with them, and that sort of thing. I'm just looking around. Had the welder out, of course, the TIG welder. That's in the video that's uploaded. Yeah, I don't think I haven't got much more to show you, unfortunately. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, because there's no point me dragging on here and talking about nothing and umming and ahhing. I've done enough of that already. However, we will be live next Thursday night. And in the meantime, there's a video to watch. Go watch that. If you don't mind, leave a comment, please. Like and subscribe, all that usual guff that everyone does. Wrap it up, wrap it in. Yeah, I think I might go and watch Stranger Things, watch the final episode of season 4, catch up on that, I think. But there's still plenty of, there's still lots more to come with the roller. We're not going to run out of things to do. There's still parts to make, and, I've got pins and levers to make and all that sort of thing. We've got the drawings for those. Can I find that quickly? Right, hang on. Let's see if we can find that. I've got plenty of things to do. I just got to get and do it. And of course, what I want to look at, I can't find too quickly. I should be better organized, which I'm not. Right, here we go. We want the drawings. And let's see if I can find it quickly. Righto. This, no, not there. And of course, whenever you want to find something, because I haven't looked here for a while, that's it. So I want. I know I said I was going to wrap it up, but I'll just show you quickly. Share this on screen. There. No. I've got to go. No. Stand here. You can tell I'm really well organized. Some bloke called Roger said I'm really well organized. Other people said I'm really well organized. Well, unfortunately, I'm not. Righto. Here we go. Right. For instance, this is one drawing here on screen. There we go. It's on screen now. This is what they call the clutch gear. Now, this is what makes the engine move. When I can have the engine running and the actual steamroller itself sitting still doing nothing. And this is basically a gear selector. And it has a lever on it which has slow and a slow speed and a fast speed or neutral. And depending on which way that lever is facing will determine whether you're going slow or fast. I believe fast for this steamroller is about 14 miles an hour, and slow is probably about walking pace or something like that. The lever that does all this is missing, and that's something I have to make. It is shown on the drawing here, which I will zoom in. Get it up on the screen here. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Just take a little bit. That's that lever there. It's a little bit blurry because it's just sort of rendering at the moment. So that there is, as you can see, is 1'10". So 1'10" is it's almost 2 foot long, roughly, and it's really nothing hard. It's a piece of steel bar that's got some machined surfaces on it, some accurate measurements. You can see the center distances there. The end is turned and then bent up. This is not a particularly hard piece to make. I can easily make it on the milling machine over here behind me. The radiuses that you see in the various bits I would have to do them probably differently to how this would have been manufactured originally, but the end result will still be the same. And basically it's just a bit of steel bar with a couple of holes shaped accordingly. Most of it is milling work and some of it's lathe work. Now, this is something I don't need straight away, but it's just another job to be done. And for one of the selector shafts here, I have one. However, the other one is missing. And once again, we're very fortunate to have this drawing, which gives all the details and just makes life easy. So then it just comes down to fabricating this particular item, and which is that particular one there on screen. Just coming up now. It's a fairly simple thing. You know, the piece of bar with a couple of holes drilled in it. Another one here. You know, 1 inch. It's all basic stuff. But this is the thing that makes the whole engine move. If I want to drive the engine, I need these things on there. This whole thing was actually missing. When we got the roller, it was nowhere to be found. And it wasn't until I communicated with someone down south, a young guy who's helped me out tremendously. We've helped each other out. I've talked about him before. He purchased a steamroller the same as this one. And he ended up having parts of mine which were identical to the parts on his. So he was very gracious and returned those parts to me, which had gone missing, you know, 20 or 30 years prior to me even owning it or even thinking that I was going to own a steamroller. So I've been really fortunate there. Otherwise, this whole assembly here would have had to been remanufactured, and that would have been a big cost, a really big cost. So I'm very fortunate to have these parts back with it, as well as the actual gears that go in as part of this mechanism as well. It's just made a huge difference. So yeah, I'm really, really fortunate to make contact, get the original parts back. There's probably only a few of the original parts that are missing now. and they're going to have to be remanufactured. And thankfully, we have drawings and details of these items that can be remade, and they will be expensive at time of doing it, but as you know, I can't use the engine without them, so it's one of those one-off investments that you have to make to get these parts made. And that's usually the case for these things, because the parts that are missing are the shiny bits that the fairies like to take off with, all the brass work and various things that are easy to take off and put in a collector's pocket or something, so on and so forth. And it's amazing to see how much of the original equipment was still on the steamroller when we got it. But that's enough. So that's the story so far. But I'm going to keep plugging away at it, and yes, we're going to be. This is my wife, and she's watching on Facebook, and we're working on finishing Lee's room. I was talking about your room before, so you put that in twice. You've put that in twice. You only have to put it in once. Yeah, so it's all a work in progress. So anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, thanks everyone for watching and your support, and look after yourselves, take care, catch up with you all later, have fun, and we'll say bye for now. Whistle time.